Hey, y'all, it's Val here, Crafts by You. It's time for some mixed media. We want to get some mixed media all up in your craft room. And today, I just want to quickly share with you 2 techniques that can help mix up your card making and paper crafting experience. But first, a quick backstory. I started doing ATCs about a year ago or so. And for those who aren't familiar with those, they're artist trading cards, and essentially they're baseball card size, so 2.5 by 3.5, little miniature pieces of art that you trade with other folks. You make a bunch of similar ones. They're not completely different, but they all have nuances about them that are different. You swap them with other artists and you get as many as you gave back. So really fun stuff. In fact, down below in the comments, let me know if you're already doing ATCs and ATC swaps, if you're ATC Pro, or if you have really no other idea about this and you want me to do something on it, or if you just want to see a video anyway. So let me know down in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But the point is that when you start building these little things out, you start with your background. And after a while, you just say, you know what, I need some more. I need to do some different backgrounds for this to start building from. And so that's when I decided, okay, well, let me just start using my inks to create my own background and mix it up. So these were the starts of some, not even finished with them yet, but I wanted to show you how to do these backgrounds. And these in particular started off from even this same sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 glossy white cardstock. And so I want to kind of show you this for the first technique, which is a technique that I call turning water to wine. All right, why on earth would I call it that? Well, let me show you here really quickly. We're going to take that glossy white cardstock. I just kept it at smaller size instead of the full sheet, so you can see what I'm doing. But the idea here, I can't talk this morning, need more coffee, is that we're taking a water-based dye ink, and that's where we're going to come in with good old alcohol. Whoop, whoop, there we go. So rating your bathroom counter under the sink and get that alcohol. And so one of the ways you can do it is with your existing ink pads. I've already been getting inked up here for you guys today. So one thing at Stampin' Up! We love, we can just squish that and voila, they're so nice and juicy. We get a nice well of ink there. But then we also take our re-inkers to do this too. In fact, let me slide this on over here so we can stay nice and neat to a degree. So we'll just put a squeeze here, and you certainly don't need this much, but hey, it's how I roll, right? So we'll put another color here, a little old olive. Alrighty. So then we'll just either keep our alcohol in a mist form. We could put that in a Stampin Spritzer. In fact, you can just mist those. You can also just keep a little cup of it off to the side so that you can get in there. So maybe we'll try for this one sort of an ombre-ish type of a look. Let's see, make sure you can see what I'm doing here. So we're just going to go across the page. And you know what? Feel free. This is mixed media. I think the reason a lot of folks are really drawn to it is because when there are all these rules and measurements for everything else, mixed media says, I just need to let loose and see what comes out of it instead of me worrying about the rules. So then I'm going to just take some more alcohol and go into that lemon lime twist and add that here. Oh yeah, it's ombre-ish. What's cool too is that once this hits the paper, that glossy white cardstock, it's there. I mean, you really are not having to hit it with a heat tool or anything afterwards because there's that coating on the paper. So really, if you went in with the alcohol, or excuse me, with the heat tool afterwards, then you end up kind of possibly bubbling up that coating that's on the paper. So you don't want to do that. But again, if you want to try that, hey, maybe that's the effect that you're going for. So you start to get just really cool effects, and there's no turning back now. Now it's just like you get in there and you do it. And again, here it is. I'm just taking an old baby wipe, kind of wiping off the little excess that we have on here. But once it's on there, it's on there. And if you just get a spot that is just horrifically bad, you can you can go in and layer more ink on it. In fact, I mean, really, you can just kind of use whatever excess you got here. You can kind of wipe this off. You start to see how it gets into the paper. Let's move that ATC, poor ATC. Move out the way, ATC. So really, you can kind of come up with a lot of cool effects. Things that would, on their own, maybe not be your favorite, but once you start layering them up, they can really turn out to be some cool pieces. And, you know, here's one that I did earlier. So a lot of variety. That's turning water to wine, folks. All right, technique number 1 completed. Let's move on to technique number 2. I decided that while these type of backgrounds were cool, I was going to get tired of them pretty quickly, just because that's how I roll. So I decided that I wanted to get even more texture and maybe something that was like a little bit more identifiable. Like you could actually tell what the heck was going on. And that's when I kind of came across this idea. So I decided, let me use my rubber stamps. And to me, I would prefer a rubber stamp over photopolymer stamp, just because the impression you can get with it. So whether it's wood mounted or clear mount didn't matter, but just those rubber stamp. So this is our Definitely Dahlia that was able to get this impression. And on a full sheet, let me just kind of give you an idea of what that kind of looks like. This is using our Heartfelt Blooms, which is a new stamp set that we have. And in fact, it's a new type of stamp in and of itself. Distinctive is what Stampin' Up! Is calling it, because you get this 3 stamp layering, 4 stamp kind of a look with the opacities being so different, but it's one stamp. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to use this one. But you can tell, just check out the variations from that one stamp using different colorations. And even sometimes when you use the same one, you get that much variety. So that was a lot of fun. So how do we do this? All right, well, I've got my stamp on the block. Let's grab more of that glossy white cardstock. And with this one, Refreshing Blends, it's called that because we're taking our alcohol markers. And in case you just decided to go on a hiatus from social media, or you decided to live under a rock for a few months, Stampin' Blends are awesome alcohol markers that Stampin' Up! Decided to really get in there and say, we're going to take this thing and take it to the max. And so that's what they did. They brought back their alcohol markers, and we love them so much because as opposed to me having Copics or other alcohol markers, these are going to color coordinate with all of the Stampin' Up! Goodies that we already have. So how awesome is that? And I'm just using that brush end of the marker instead of the bullet part. And the other thing I think that I'm finding I really love about the blends is that, man, if you mess with my Copics, we're going to have a serious problem. Now, I'm not saying I'm just like a free spirit when it comes to my Stampin' Blends, but you guys, they're so much cheaper. They're $4.50 each as opposed to a Copic being way more than that. And for those of you who are familiar with this, that feeling of going to Michael's with your coupon and trying to get your hubby or a friend to get in line with you so that you could get a Copic, and like going back every other day to get Copics. Like after a while, you're just like, I'm tired of this life. I want a better discount. So hey, Stampin' Up! Has a better discount. Super good quality markers. I love it. Okay, so you're thinking, hey, you're kind of taking a long time. You're talking a lot, and you're doing this. You're using blue. I'm going to even throw some more purple up in there. This is not going to work, you're thinking, right? But This is why we're calling it refreshing blends, because yeah, alcohol markers, you just put them on there, they're going to dry up. But you go back with your Stampin Spritzer. We'll give this a mist. We're refreshing the ink that we have on here. And now we take that to the paper. And we just give it a little press. In fact, if you didn't want to flip it, you could always rub it that way. Let's see. Ooh, I just thought, hey, you know what? Why not throw some blue in there, make it funky? That's the thing. It's just like have fun with it. We're talking about paper and ink, folks. If you want to go more traditional, you can. I mean, gotten a lot of different prints from this, but it's just a lot of fun to go in and do this. Another way for us to use our Stampin' blends. A lot of awesomeness. The only thing I'd recommend with this is that go ahead and get your Stampin Scrub. Use some of that Stampin Mist stamp cleaner to clean your stamps with, because hey, we want to take care of them. We want them to last long, and they've been drinking a lot of alcohol, so we need to refresh them. So make sure you take care of your stamps. So those are our two techniques. Again, we definitely can play around and do so much more with this, but I want you guys to see water to wine and refreshing blends. And make sure that you tag me at Crafts by You. Go to Instagram, look me up. We definitely want to make sure we stay connected, because I want to see what you guys are making with this. All right, take care, share, and tag me so I can heart up the crafts by each of you. Later, Gators.